everyone. My name is Sam Willens, your mother of Valkyries and your host of the Sword and the Ribbon podcast. Last week, we talked about how to listen and learn about your body. So this week, I wanted to bring you someone who understands the process. Special guest, Valkyrie Mariah, is joining us on the podcast today. Welcome, Mariah.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So glad you could join us today.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
It's gonna be an awesome episode. So let's start at the beginning of your story. And can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you came to find the Valkyrie Squad?
Yeah, so let's see. I am 25, a Gemini, and an engineer. I live in Florida with my dog. And I found the Valkyrie Squad on TikTok. I actually found Geek Gym first. And then slid into Valkyrie Squad when it opened.
So you were doing some of the Marvel stuff.
Marvel, the Curse Breaker workout when that came out.
Awesome. Yeah, that was, well, you've heard the story now, episode 2, where it was supposed to be just 1 became 3, and then, well, here we are. Here you are on this massive program and now on this podcast. So how long have you been in the program?
5 months, I believe. Pretty much, I think I joined a day or 2 after it dropped.
Really? I totally thought you were there on day 1.
I think I intended to be, but I had friends visiting that weekend or something, so I think I joined that Sunday, and it dropped on Friday or something like that.
So close enough. You were in that pre-sign up group.
Yep, yeah.
So what made you decide to join the program?
I had been working on my health for a while, but had been mostly doing for workouts like Just Dance and Infinity Hoop and things that were pretty much just cardio, but hopefully fun enough to keep me engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't working. So I joined Geek Gym because I am a geek and loved all of the things on it. And then when Valkyrie Squad dropped and it was based on my current obsession book series, I absolutely had to join that, and so far it's worked. I'm still doing it, so
it kept you hooked enough, thankfully.
Exactly. I am engaged. Good job.
Your core is engaged, you're engaged, we're all engaged here.
Exactly.
I'm glad it hooked you because I was incredibly nervous the whole time.
I still see videos where you say, because they're all pre-recorded, and you're like, I really hope people are doing this. And I'm like, just you wait, Sam.
You're like, if past you could see now.
Only about, 1,000 of us now?
Oh, yeah. Well over 1,000 now. And I'm sure future me is going to look back and go, well, just you wait. It's been a ride. But I remember, at the very beginning of your journey, you made this moving video within your first month, or at the end of your very first month of Valkyrie Squad, and you told your story and your journey throughout that entire first month. And for those who are listening in, we will post this to our Instagram page so you can see it. But Mariah, kind of tell us what was in that video.
Yeah, so that video kind of chronicled my whole journey from when I first started. I've been on a fitness, health, weight loss journey pretty much since I was a teen, but this particular segment of it, I suppose, started in June 2021 when I got my first desk job and then realized how awful that was for my health. So it kind of chronicled everything I did leading up to joining Valkyrie Squad, from the first year I spent just kind of breaking down my diet and my relationship with food and building that back up, and then doing Just Dance and the Infinity Hoop and those things, to joining Geek Gym, where I first started to actually focus on my strength, and the fact that those first few videos almost made me quit entirely because wow, was I not in shape. And then joining Valkyrie Squad and just the changes in that first month in my health and energy, and being ready to tackle Blade Month at the end of that in a way that I hadn't expected.
So I want to just elaborate a little bit more, because I want to hear your whole thought process through all of this.
When I first started, I was very much on all of those typical fitness ideals and standards and all of that of, it's 80% diet and 20% exercise and calories in versus calories out. I was definitely calorie counting a whole lot with an app that would lower my calorie limit every time I put in a new weight. And so it was not great for my mental health. But so yeah, that first year was really critical in teaching me more about food in general and healthy alternatives and things like that. But then joining Geek Gym and especially joining Valkyrie Squad, where I'm in the Discord with a bunch of people who have completely shunned all of the toxic fitness ideas. And Morgan, in particular, was fantastic at helping introduce me to more of an intuitive eating style. So that was very, very useful in just completely changing my perspective and ideas of fitness and of food, and learning to not necessarily restrict myself, but maybe make some healthier substitutes or add on to the things I'm eating to make sure that I'm still taking care of myself, both physically and mentally.
For those who are listening in, Morgan is one of our Valkyries who is also a dietitian, and she will be on the next episode. So for everyone who is listening in, but yeah, no, she's been a great help, like giving assistance within just her own time. She's giving it up, and it's amazing to like help out so many Valkyries. And I didn't realize she had like helped you so much. I see things come through, but I don't always like process it.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think we ever really spoke one on one, but just the little things that I would see from her, I picked up and implemented into my life and just completely changed my relationship with food.
That's amazing. I don't know if she knows that, so we can let this be a little surprise to her.
Hi, Morgan. Thank you.
Shout out to Morgan. So like that's just incredible that like you were basically put back in the driver's seat of your own life and your own body, your own health. So within the program, you started to develop a lot of strength. I know you ended up posting towards the end. You started posting a photo of like you from like each month when you hit the end of Valkyrie, which was quite impactful. And even though I know like weight wasn't a massive like part of what you were focusing on, it became a happy byproduct, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When I started, weight was definitely a really big factor for me. One of the reasons that I did want to kind of get my health back under my control is that just genetically, I'm at risk for a lot of medical conditions that are, I guess, higher risk when you're at higher weights. So losing weight was something that I definitely wanted, but through Valkyrie Squad, I was able to learn that losing weight wasn't all of it. Definitely. It was a very happy byproduct, but the things that I learned to focus on in those pictures were more, you can see muscle definition and look at my arms and the fact that I kind of look like I'm strong enough to hold a sword now. And which it's so cool to see the weight loss and things like clothes fitting better and different and fitting into maybe smaller sizes is amazing, but being able to see my own strength is not something I think I've ever been able to do, even when I was at my most fit in high school. And that's the part that has been mind blowing to me.
That's incredible. Like to be able to see your own strength is so, and to have that mindset shift from before, from 2021 to now, to have that. What did you play? You played a sport in high school, right?
I played softball very competitively.
And did you continue it through college?
No, so my senior year of high school, I was kind of expected to keep going into college. I played on very competitive teams. I started having panic attacks that were pretty directly related to softball, and that was when I really kind of came into my anxiety and decided that for my mental health, I could not keep going with it. And that was, I think, a good choice for my mental health, not so good for my physical health though.
No, but you have a lot of awareness, which is incredible, especially like to be going from high school to college to have that awareness of like, hey, this is not good for my mental health. I commend you. That's amazing.
It was a tough decision for sure, but it was possibly, honestly, looking back, the first moment where I was really able to look at myself and make the tough decision that was right for me for my mental health, because I've had to make a few of those now.
So you've made these incredible decisions in your life. What like self-reflection do you have? Like what brought you to make these decisions? But I think for like someone who trying to make that first step, how do you make that first step?
I guess the biggest thing for me is just that my goal in life has always been happiness, and not necessarily always my own. I grew up as very much a people pleaser, but once I grew up a bit, and especially when I went to college, which was about 2,000 miles away from my family, hometown, everyone I knew, I started to realize that I have to put my own happiness first. And I'm going to have to make the tough decisions and do the things that might not feel like the best in general, but are going to put me in the best spot for myself.
It's great advice. Yeah, like you put yourself first, and yeah, you had no other choice, and that's incredible. So since all of like your very first impactful video, which I cried, I would say it's very hard to make me cry, but you guys have proven me wrong at every turn, every day. So since then, you've made a couple more impactful videos on TikTok. And again, we'll share these on our social media. But what inspires you to make these videos? And especially you had a vulnerable Valkyrie talk, which is definitely one of my favorites. What inspires you?
Yeah, I definitely. So when I started my TikTok, I absolutely in no way, shape, or form had or still have the desire to be an influence per se. What I really wanted was a place to talk about my love for reading that I had recently picked back up and potentially make friends. And that's something where I knew that I would kind of have to be open and honest and genuine to do that. And then I posted that first video mostly because my TikTok is a book talk. It is a bookish account, and these workouts are bookish workouts and based on a book, which is the coolest concept to me. I never would have thought of it. And like I said, it's something that has managed to keep me engaged when pretty much nothing else would. And so I figured, oh, I can share these with my bookish people on my bookish account, and maybe they'd want that too. At the very least, I can find some people who I'm sure will kind of connect with me this way. And I posted that first video, and then you do edit it. And I remember just an increase in the Valkyrie Squad kind of directly after that was probably, at least in some way, influenced by the video I had put out there. And I was stunned. I could do anything. Even one person would join this program because of me. And so since then, posting these TikToks has been a combination of truly, it's so cliche to say, and I say it all the time, and I'm so sorry, but I have no other way to say it. This program changed my life. And both to be genuine and honest about myself and my bookish adventure, this has been a huge part of it. So I want to make those videos, but also I do not ever shut up about the Valkyrie Squad. So if I can help put it out there where more people can see it, or maybe be that final push where someone has seen your videos come across their For You page a few times, but has been on edge about signing up, maybe I can be the final push to get them to join. And that could help change other people's lives. And that's typically what motivates me to post, is just I want more Valkyries. I want to grow our legion of badassery.
I think that's amazing. And I think like your videos, they show you're a real person. Cause like, yeah, sometimes the people that go viral, yeah, I'm kind of speaking about myself as well, but like you go viral, you're kind of set apart. I'm the trainer and I'm seen one way, but they see someone like you because there's not a lot of reviews out there. But like seeing you, you're a real person who's invested into the program, invested into themselves. Like they can relate to you. They can put themselves in your shoes. Me as a trainer, it's a little different.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to be able to put out that different perspective, because I know I've seen people, because I have taken my constant talk of Valkyrie Squad has moved to Facebook and to bookish groups. And I've seen people who have seen your TikToks and said, I've seen this. Has anyone done this? Does anyone actually have reviews? And so it's cool that I can then post and be like, hey, I've done this. I have reviews. I even have pictures. I can give you the other perspective and maybe encourage more people to join.
It is fun. Like I just don't go on Facebook all that often, and you do message me and you're like, hey, you've been brought up in this group. Oh, hey, you're being talked about over here. I'm hyping you. I'm hyping up the program. I'm like, where is it?
Everywhere I can. I probably second to TikTok, Facebook is my number one social media platform. And so I'm in all sorts of bookish groups there and frequently ACOTAR groups. And so it comes up fairly often. And I am always here to talk about it. So
I just live over here in my little hobbit hole, and I just don't want to like know about it at all. I'm just you all tell me, I'm like, cool, that's awesome. I'm here trying to just like put out fires or make sure everything's running correctly. But I'm glad it's getting talked about, and like you're there to help encourage people, because I do remember, I think it was your second video. I think you were the one where you were like swinging your sword around. And I do remember a couple people like coming into the Discord being like, I signed up because I saw this girl on TikTok. I think her name's Mariah. I'm here because of Mariah. And then like it started a whole chain of like, oh, I saw her too. I'm here because of her. And it was so cool to see like that impact, like at least on my end, to watch that impact come through, that you put out just a fun video of you working out with a sword.
That was incredibly cool to see. And the best part is like so many people who popped into the Discord from that video, I'm now friends with, like random people who stumbled across my TikTok. I'm like, hello, friend.
That's amazing. Like I love that. And it was so fun to see like on the other side, to like not be like, oh, I saw Sam's video and now I'm here. And it's like, I saw Mariah's video. I'm like, cool, someone else is on it. So I think like, even though I know you said you didn't want having that influencing lifestyle is not like for you, but you influenced people to join a program to change some aspect in their life, that's pretty influencing to me. It may not be our standard, but it's still very incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't want to be an influencer per se, but knowing that the things I say do matter and do get to people who they can help it's a really cool feeling, that's for sure.
Yes. So how has your perspective about working out changed since starting the entire program?
So drastically. Like I said, I used to play softball, and I have quite literally always hated working out, quote unquote. I just going and playing softball is a workout in and of itself, but I never saw it that way. What I always thought of as a workout was conditioning and, sprints and burpees and push-ups and
awful
all
things.
of the things that I did not enjoy. And that's kind of how I've always seen working out. Whereas now that I'm in Valkyrie Squad and not only learning that there are ways to strengthen your core that aren't just sit-ups and your standard playing, but learning that I can push myself and I can grow and I can see physically, like I can see myself pick up heavier weights the next time I do this workout, and I can see myself suddenly hold a side plank for 30 seconds when the first time Sam told me to do it, I fell a lot. So I've been able to go from this working out is evil, I don't want to do it, it's unfortunate necessity for your health, to actually seeing it as like, I look forward to getting to my mat every day. I don't know if I've ever sent you this, but I have a Snapchat that I sent to like my family and friends where I'm in a hotel on work travel in my Valkyrie Squad shirt and leggings. And the little caption I have on it says, Sam turned me into the kind of person who works out at hotels. I remember like I went down, I don't think I even did a Valkyrie Squad workout. I did like a treadmill strut or something, but I walked back up to my room and was thinking about the fact that when I was a kid, I would look at the gyms and hotels and look at my mom and be like, who works out on vacation? Like, what kind of person? Me. I'm that kind of person.
That's amazing. Who am I?
Really, who am I? Like, I did a live Planksgiving workout on Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Like, who am I? I don't do that.
I signed up for a 45-minute workout when I've been doing a 30-minute workout this whole time.
Those extra 15 minutes were something.
They were something. I hurt so bad after that too. But no, I think it's such like, you found joy and happiness within, and even if you weren't like on your vacation or work trip, like you weren't doing just Valkyrie Squad, you found something fun. And I know you said this in one of the Facebook groups because someone sent it to me, and then was like, I loved this. But the way you're like, oh, we like chop down toxic fitness culture, what else do you do with swords? I was like, this is fantastic. It's the best fucking phrase ever.
We gotta put those swords to use somehow in the modern day and age.
Right? Like, if we can't use them on people, I guess we have to, like, use it in other ways.
And what better way than chopping down toxic fitness standards?
Exactly. I think that'll just always stick with me and, like, needs to be plastered everywhere.
I'm not gonna lie, I was very proud of that one.
Like, I think we need to make that into a sticker.
Please?
Okay, so how have your feelings about yourself changed since you started this whole program?
So, like I said before, I have been on more or less off and on a weight loss journey since I was a kid, a teen, and I have always since then, almost my entire life basically, I have seen myself as there's something that I need to do. I need to lose weight. I need to stop being so loud and annoying. I need to change myself. And then I can be happy with myself. And I've seen these concepts of self-love where people are like, you can love yourself as is, that's okay, and I'm like, yeah, no, because I'm not there yet. And I truly can't tell you when it happened. It was such a gradual thing since I've joined Valkyrie Squad, but at some point I was able to look at myself in the mirror and yeah, I'm not exactly where I want to be. I still have a ways to go, but I was able to look in the mirror and think, wow, like I might not be everywhere I want to be, and I might still have a long ways to go, but I'm pretty badass. Like I'm swinging swords for a workout. That's pretty cool. And over time have been able to look at myself and realize truly, I mean, you hear it 1,000 times, but it just clicked in my head that I don't need to meet conditions to love myself. And I can love myself as I am now. And I can love myself in a few months and a few years when I reach more of my goals. And that's okay. I don't need other people to love me to love myself. Although when I forget that, the Valkyries are amazing at reminding me that I am worthy of love. So yeah, I mean, just a complete 180 in looking at myself. And I don't, more or less throughout my life, I've never really hated myself. You know, you have those moments, but I didn't hold disdain for myself in a very obvious way, I suppose. And Valkyrie Squad was able to help me recognize that just because I'm not actively out here like I am the worst doesn't mean that I'm being nice to myself. And so I've been able to be kinder to myself, be more accepting of who I am, and truly just unconditionally love myself, which is mind blowing to think about.
I don't always see how I help you because I didn't give you anything really other than a workout program. I'm not like, here, this is how you're going to heal yourself. So it's so hard to like be like, wow, this changed so many people's lives and like brought this realization. Whereas I'm like, I don't think I did anything.
The thing I don't think you acknowledge is you built this workout program on Nesta's journey on healing yourself. And so even if it wasn't intentional, even if you don't really see it, you built a space, like a true space, the program, the Discord, all of that for people to heal. And people are doing that because of you.
This was like all unintentional. This is completely unintentional.
I believe that.
It's all happy accidents. And I'm sure Mark is just so annoyed with me. He's like, they're not happy accidents. They were intentional. I was like, they're happy accidents. I just wanted to make people sweat. What are these emotions? Nesta's journey is so impactful. I was literally just telling my sister Alina about it too. Of just like, her journey is so impactful. And I was very taken away with it and really wanted to create this program. It was people are like, oh, weight loss is a happy byproduct. Oh, emotional healing is a happy byproduct.
Literally, I did not expect to learn to love myself through this program, but I'm not going to be mad about it.
Like, they're all just happy little accidents. That's all that happened.
Like I said, I mean, Nesta's journey, all of the Valkyries' journey, all of them find healing through their Valkyrie training, through that workout. And so, like I said, even if it wasn't completely intentional, you built a recreation of the Valkyrie training that 3 separate characters were able to heal themselves through in completely different ways. So it does not surprise me that you created a space where all of these thousands of Valkyries are also able to find their healing.
I always believe that movement is healing, that like it was always something there. I just didn't realize like the impact it would create. Like listening to your story, I'm like, wow, I did that.
You did that. That was you.
From that, like, how do you take care of yourself now since you've changed so much?
I have changed so much, and it is still a daily battle to remind myself. I will sit there and think, wow, I want Dairy Queen so bad today, but like, no, can't do. And so I fight with myself constantly about like, we aren't restricting. You're gonna have your Dairy Queen. Maybe you're gonna have like a healthy dinner to go with it. Balance, and trying to find that balance is pretty much the core of how I take care of myself. The balance between I'm going to do my workout and then I'm going to go to Universal and drink a butterbeer.
Yes.
Just constantly trying to balance. I am still taking my health into my own hands, into my control, but it's my physical health and my mental health, and I'm not going to sacrifice one for the other.
And that's like key advice.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is all about balance. Like the other night, we had Parmesan potatoes with a green smoothie.
That sounds delicious.
I got my veggies, I got my fruit, and I got delicious potatoes.
Perfect.
Yeah, like trying not to beat yourself up over it. And if you didn't work out for the day, it's fine.
Exactly. I did. I had last week, I think I didn't work out on Friday, and I always work out on Fridays, but instead of beating myself up about it, it was more of a, okay, do that on Saturday then, and combine that with your stretching and making allowances for life. It's a part of the balance.
It is completely a part of the balance. So, what are 2 or 3 of your favorite self-care practices on those hard days? Because we all have them.
Okay, so I obviously the standard, curling up with a soft blanket and my dog and a nostalgia comfort book or video game is a big one for me. But probably my biggest self-care tactic is, I don't want to say controversial, but some people are going to think I'm crazy for it. And I promise it stems from like it. There was a whole process that went into this becoming my self-care tactic. But going to the movies by myself is huge for me. That's like when my brain I need a complete and total reset. I know that just staying home isn't going to make me feel much better. And so I will take myself out to the movie theater, just buy a ticket to whatever catches my eye the most, and get my silly little pretzel nuggets and my silly little large soda and go be around people without having to be with people and watch a movie. And I swear it is the closest I have ever come in my life to finding a reset switch on my brain.
It's not crazy at all. That's not crazy at all. So my husband used to do the same thing before we met. That was his like self-care routine, was he went to the movies by himself. His proudest moment, which I don't know if it's a proud moment, he went and saw Frozen by himself. And it's like his favorite movie.
I love that movie.
So no, I agree. Like it's a great movie. And that was like his like peak. He saw Frozen by himself. And that was his like self-care routine. So no, I don't think it's weird because I'm married to someone who does that.
It's definitely, I used to be the kind of person who was like, going to the movies by yourself, like, okay, no. And then I lived alone for 6 months and Movie Pass was at its prime, and so I had my unlimited movies for $100 and I just saw movies constantly. And after that just kind of became associated with like, I need to get out of the house and I don't really need to be with people. I don't necessarily want to be with people. So I'm just going to go take myself out to a movie and treat myself. And when I come out of that movie, I'll feel at least a little better.
I think I've only seen one movie by myself, and it was the last Star Wars movie.
Nice. Good one.
I was like, I'm going to go see it in the middle of the day. I had nothing. I think I didn't work that day. So I was like, I have all day. I'm going to go do it.
Perfect.
But I really wanted to just text people the whole time about the whole movie. And there was like 2 other people in the theater. I was like, damn, I was hoping for a quiet day in the theater and I wanted no one in there.
I have had that. I have had movies like once or twice where I am the only one there, and it's iconic.
I was like, that's amazing. That was what I was hoping for. I just wanted to see a movie in a theater with no one there, middle of the day on a Wednesday, and it did not happen. I was so mad. I think Star Wars had been out for like four weeks at that point, and I was like, there's no one's gonna be here. No, there was like an old man like 2 rows behind me and a young guy right in front, and I was like, damn it, you're not even far enough away. I can pull out my phone and ask people what's going, like, why is this happening right now? Anyways, so now that you're like you said at the beginning, you were about 5 months in at the recording of this episode, but you've completed the first 3 months and you started back at the beginning before you do month 4 of anorexia, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I restarted with novice.
So how does it feel? round 2 of novice.
Oh, I was so cocky going into it. And I was so misplaced. I mean, the reason why I restarted at the beginning was because when I finished Valkyrie, I knew I would want to redo Valkyrie. And then I took almost a whole month off and was like, well, now I don't really feel comfortable jumping straight into Valkyrie. Maybe I should do Blade. And at that point, I might as well just go back and do Novice and kind of rebuild my foundation, you know? Why not? I'm going to be doing this program forever. It's fine. So I was super confident. Like I had taken a month off, but I was like, I went all the way through Valkyrie. This is going to be nothing. And I seemed to forget that you specifically created Novice so that anyone at any point on their workout journey could start there.
Yes.
And so it's been brutal. I repeated week 3 because it did not go the way I wanted it to the first time around. But it's been wonderful to get back in touch with like those very initial steps towards building that foundation and engaging your core and engaging your shoulders. At some point that went away. I completely forgot to do that. So that's been fun relearning that one.
That's good. Like my own sister is like also like very into fitness, and she's like, I kind of forget that basics are great. It's like, yeah, I know. She goes, oh, everyone forgets that, even me.
Exactly. I forgot how important a lot of it is, and I forgot how tough a lot of it can be.
It's quite humbling, but it's also awakening at the same time, right?
Yeah, it's humbling, and it's been very eye-opening to realize I went through this whole program and I still have so much more to learn and so much more to do.
It's funny because like I'm not a person who repeats workouts, and the other trainers in Micro Squad actually aren't that way either. So when I tell them that you all repeat workouts a lot, it's funny because they just sit there and go, really? Aren't you bored? I was like, no. I was like, it's funny. It's like, you guys aren't. You guys tell me all the time. I was like, but it's funny. It's like, I know that you all will find something new to focus on, or like, because I know, especially myself, I throw a lot of cues out there and focus points. And that I do know that if you come back and revisit the workout, you will find something new to focus on.
Yeah, there's new things to focus on. There are the things I've learned through you because I did not know this before, but there are a lot of ways to take the same exercise and make it spicier, you know, use a heavier weight, add some wrist weights. There are so many ways to kind of change it up for yourself where I truly think I could do this program for years and not get bored with it and find new ways to challenge myself with it.
Always my intention, and even if I don't repeat workouts, like it is cool to hear that it does come across right, that you could keep repeating it if you wanted to, or you could try it in a new way.
Yep. I mean, not Valkyrie, but I do use the Curse Breaker workout from Geek Gym as my check-in. Like that's my fitness test almost as to where I am right now.
That's right. Yeah, like I forgot. Yeah, you do that. You have, so for those who aren't in the Discord, but Mariah says it in the Discord every so often, that the Curse Breaker workout she uses, I think it's once a month, correct?
Typically about once a month, and I use it. It like feels like my true base because that was, I think, the first Geek Gym workout I did. If it wasn't the first, it was within that first week. So I can remember how much I struggled with that and then come back and be like, wow, I used 3-pound weights the first time I went through this, and now I'm using 8-pound weights. Like, I'm so cool.
That's amazing. I think when you told me that, I never thought of redoing workouts in that way, of like gauging yourself as your own like personal fitness test.
I definitely didn't do it intentionally to start with too. It was just one I kept redoing because I liked it a lot. And then it was around the end of Novice, I think, where I was like, this is a really good way to see, like physically see all of the changes that have happened since I started this journey.
That's so cool because like it's just a different way to track yourself. And you're tracking your strength. You're not focusing on body composition, weight, whatever. You're focused on purely your strength.
Exactly. Like that is purely what can my body do now that it could not do a month ago.
So cool. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
So I know the answer to the next question, but we're going to hear it all. Would you recommend the Valkyrie Squad?
Like I said, I cannot shut up about how much I love the Valkyrie Squad. I promise you, my family and friends are all so sick of hearing me talk about it. I actually got a friend to join.
Oh,
So
you did?
I did. I have a friend that lives in Florida with me who we're kind of doing a buddy system through Novice right now.
Oh, how fun.
So I got a friend to join, but truly I can't stop talking about how much I love and recommend Valkyrie Squad because it's such a great place. I mean, I've said it before. I would literally pay the monthly amount just for access to the Discord, like not to mention the program. I cannot say enough good things about it. 1000% would recommend.
1,000 out of 1,000 recommended.
1000 out of 100.
So we're going to get a little bit of a harder thing is what is the hardest part of Valkyrie Squad? And then what is the easiest part?
Okay, so it's funny because the hardest part is actually something that I've talked about a couple times throughout this, but making myself challenge myself frequently is the hardest part because it is. It's videos, it's online. While I do think that you have some magic sense that allows you to see back through time and correct form, even though this is a pre-recorded video, still there's not like a live instructor with you. There's no one standing there saying, hey, you can do more than that. And so challenging myself and pushing myself to really test my limits sometimes and try a heavier weight and you can hold this plank, you can do it, just keep going. That's probably the hardest part for me.
Pushing yourself just past a little bit more.
Exactly. Like not letting myself get comfortable and not giving up a little early because I can and it's easy and no one's going to see. Just remembering that if I'm cheating the workout, I'm only cheating myself and that's a softball quote for you. I've heard that one so many times.
It's a common training tactic and it's not one of my favorites, but it does hit. It could be reworded.
Yes, I agree.
You could push yourself just an extra second, an extra breath.
And it's a balance of I don't want to burn myself out and I need to know where my body's limits are, but I also need to know where my body's limits are in that I can do more than this. I just need like the little extra mental push.
I think that also maybe comes with time, right? Like the first time through, you're probably like, maybe I won't push. But now you're on your second round through and you're like, I could go a little bit longer. You've built that over time. It's like you would build confidence, like you would build strength. It just takes time.
Exactly.
Practice makes us deadly. So what would you say the easiest part is then?
I would say the easiest part is kind of shockingly finding the motivation to do things solely because of the Discord. I have struggled my whole life with motivating myself to work out, but now I will lay out my mat, and if I'm really not feeling it, I will sit there and I will go on the Discord and I will read through the novice chat and read through the blade chat and see everyone else doing all of these fun things and be like, all right, I'm ready. I can do it. So the easiest part, I think, is just doing it.
It's like a fun FOMO. Like it's not a bad
FOMO. It's not a bad FOMO. It's not like guilting myself into doing it. It's truly going on there and saying, wow, no, okay, this actually sounds fun. I need to know what they're talking about when they're talking about this comment that Sam made. So I'm going to press play.
Or you want to like see how spicy it actually is.
Exactly. I want to know if I'm going to be challenged on the same parts that this other Valkyrie was challenged on.
We really do need to implement like the spice rating. Like I need someone who's like a coder that can go in and do the pop-up at the end of each workout and be like, here, spice rating, 1 out of 5. And then just give us an average at the end. Because as far as I know, I think it's day 17 is like notoriously spicy of novice. Day 17 of
I
novice.
just redid that one. It is so spicy. That day was the one that made me like, all right, I have to repeat this week.
And true to form, I have zero idea of what I did in that. I can pull up my notes in the video, but like I don't know what made it so spicy.
I did it 2 days ago. I'm not sure I could tell you either.
I love when you're all like, I really liked this move, or you said this. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I always, like, after the first few times I said that, and you were like, what? I'm always like, okay, I have to be kind of descriptive because she's not going to get it just from referencing the day.
No, like, I have my entire sheet. We'll just give a little insight when you all ask me questions about certain workouts. I have a sheet where I programmed everything. So that's still active. I go back and reference it all the time. And then it's a guessing game of, is it? And then it's actually numbered differently on my side. So it takes me like twice as long because I have to count. Because I have week 1, day 1 through 7, week 2, 1 through 7. So I have to actually count.
You have to count out which day is day 17.
Yeah, so it takes me a little bit longer, and then I do appreciate when some of you are like, it's day 17, around minute 3.3. I'm all, sweet. I can now
I could find that.
I can scrub to find the exact video, like the exact move you're talking about, and I can assist you. But no, like if it's something I've said, I have zero idea. Okay, so maybe you did already answer this, but what do you do to stay motivated and not let the hard days win?
It's the Discord. I will go in there. Like I said, I will literally just scroll until I give myself fun FOMO, or I'll send messages and be like, hey, someone tell me to do this. I don't know if I've actually ever sent a message like that, but I planned on it. But I'll go into the Discord and see what people are saying and talk with people. And on the hard days, I will go into our mental health channels and talk about it and find friends to talk through it, or just give hugs or whatever I need to push through that. And if the workout happens, that great. And if not, just get to the end of the day and try again tomorrow, you know?
The Discord's become everything.
Look, Sam, the workout is great, but the Discord is where it's at, okay?
It's kind of like when everyone asks, like, oh, what should I do if this hurts? And my answer is foam rolling. And if you ask anyone, what's the best part of Valkyrie Squad? Discord. They're equals. It's always going to be the same answer: foam rolling or Discord.
The program, like, I don't want to make anyone think that it's not incredible, because it really is. Like, the workout program and the way it builds on itself is so cool, and the things I've been able to do are amazing. And it should just say a lot about the Discord that I think so highly about this workout program, and I think even higher of the Discord. But truly, like, I have met my people there. I have so many friends. Truly, I love the people in this Discord. And so being able to go to that community, it helps on the hard days, and it is everything on the good days.
Well, it's kind of like Nesta finding her people, finding Gwyn and Emery and the rest of the Valkyries, and having an inner circle, having their friends.
Prior to this, wouldn't have really believed that, like, the inner circle and those vibes are really a thing. They're a thing. They're in the Discord.
I 100% agree. When it's, again, in like episode 2, I was like, make a group. But like, do we need it? I think so. Maybe. It's become everything. So for anyone who is listening and wants to start their Valkyrie journey, what are 3 tips you would give them?
Join the Discord. And truly, like, not just join the Discord before you start, and go in there and make your introduction and see what people are saying. It's such a great place to, I don't know about other people, but I had about 1,000 questions before I started, and most of them were kind of answered as I went. But being able to see people join the Discord and ask, like, what equipment should I have? What is everyone, like, when do you guys work out? When do you recommend working out? That kind of thing. You can get so many answers and feel so prepared going into your first day. So definitely tip number 1, join the Discord immediately. Like, sign up and join the Discord. Tip number 2, I would probably say throw your expectations out the window, because it's so much better than you'd expect and different than you'd expect. It's absolutely not your standard workout program. And I mean that in all of the best ways. So whatever you're expecting, I promise it's better. So just throw those out the window. You don't need those. And then my third tip would be believe in yourself. And if ever you're struggling with that, don't be afraid to have the Valkyries remind you how much we all believe in you, because that's what we're here for. That's why the Discord is such an amazing place. Keep reaching out your hand.
I put that out there a lot because I loved that quote. That was amazing from the book. It's such a great quote. But then trying to like market this program and tell people like, hey, like if you need help, reach out your hand. We are here to help you. I'm here to help you with my strength. All puns intended are in the body. All puns intended. I can help you a lot with the body work and what you need to make you feel comfortable, but just reach out your hand. And I think it's something we all just need to remember. And especially going into a community, into a program, we're all there for you. And this is an unexpected community and it's been amazing, and don't take it for granted.
It's the best community I've ever been in. I can say that confidently. We're always there to remind you that You're incredible and believe in yourself, but truly do. I mean, you can do this. And if you have any doubts about it, I promise you can do this. We're there to remind you, but remind yourself sometimes too.
Amazing. So this week's Cauldron Blessed Wisdom is brought to us by Mariah. So Mariah, take it away.
And this wisdom is coming to you from me as a recovering perfectionist. Giving your best isn't always going to mean giving 100% of your energy. Some days your best is going to be literally just flopping through the workouts with a lot of breaks. Some days it might be sitting on your mat for 10 minutes and then walking away. And that's okay. Even outside of the workouts, your best won't always mean, say, an A on an exam or a perfectly flawless painting or a typo-free document. You don't have to drain yourself all the time just to feel like you're giving it your all. And it's not healthy to do so. Your best is a variable rate. Treat it as such. And then your action item for the week going along with that is going to be to keep a piece of paper near where you work out. And every day before your workout, mindfully and honestly evaluate how you feel and what percentage you feel would reasonably be giving it your best that day. Write that percentage down on your paper and immediately follow it with the phrase is greater than 0 to remind yourself that no matter what, giving whatever you're capable of that day, even if it's simply sitting on your mat for a few minutes, is better than doing nothing just because it couldn't be 100%. And at the end of the week, look at that sheet and remind yourself that no matter what, even if you had a rough week, even if you took some days off, you're still doing so much better than if you did nothing at all. You didn't let the fear of not being able to do something perfectly keep you from still giving it your all every day, no matter what percentage your all was.
I love that, especially from a perfectionist as well.
It's a rough world out here as a perfectionist.
It is, and I love the numbers aspect of it.
That's coming to you from an engineer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that was totally an engineer response, and I love the rewrite of, like, to see it in a whole new perspective of, yeah, you don't have to give it your 100%. It's amazing. Like, it's just so good. Total engineer brain, and sometimes we need that different perspective.
I had to throw some percentages in there. It's a requirement.
We need it. Even if I can't do math very well. We all know I can't count, so.
I mean, to be fair, neither can I.
Well, thank you, Mariah, for coming on and spending all this time with us and sharing your story. And remember, everyone out there, be strong, kick ass, and be fucking magical every day. This episode was produced by Bex Castro, Mia Garlock, and Carolyn McMorrin. Thank you to Mariah Hancock for being a guest on this week's podcast. If you'd like to connect with her, visit her on TikTok and Instagram at Mariah's_book_club. Or you can visit our Instagram. She'll be tagged on there. Special thank you to Taylor Ash for creating the music of this podcast. And thanks for listening to The Sword and the Ribbon by the Micro Squad. If you're interested in learning more about the Valkyrie Squad, visit us at thevalkyriesquad.com. If you're interested in learning more about the Micro Squad or Geek Gym for a class, visit us at themicrosquad.com. And make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you get your podcasts from so you don't miss out. And if you liked this week's episode, please leave us a review.